Welcome back to The Explainer. I'm super thrilled you're tuning in today because we're looking at something that's literally everywhere right now, the gig economy app, PaidWork. If you've been wondering, if trading your actual screen time for digital cash is really worth the hype, you are absolutely in the right place. Our goal today? To show you exactly how to get your account set up, how to start earning points effectively, and honestly to give you a completely transparent look at the earning reality based on what real users are experiencing out there. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, getting started on PaidWork. Second, completing your early tasks. Third, we'll explore those earning methods. Fourth, we've got the 1,000-point rule. And finally, we'll look at some seriously contrasting user experiences. All right, section 1, getting started on PaidWork. Let's see what we're working with here. Now, before you invest your precious time into any app, you gotta know if it actually has a real user base, right? Well, looking at our source data, this app has a massive global reach, which immediately gives it a solid baseline of credibility. It's kind of crazy to see the sheer volume of interest here. One of our sources points to an incredible milestone of over 10 million downloads, backed by a 4.2-star rating across 225,000 reviews. Meanwhile, another source evaluating the platform shows a 4.4-star rating out of 47,000 reviews. So while those exact numbers might fluctuate a bit depending on where you are in the world, the big takeaway is crystal clear. Literally, millions of people are downloading this thing to see if they can make some extra cash without any upfront investment. So, how do you actually join the club? The registration process is surprisingly streamlined. You just download the app and hit registration. You can go the old-school route with an email and password or totally fast-track it using your Google or Apple accounts. But wait, whatever you do, please do not close the app just yet. The absolute most immediate necessity, like the very first crucial step to effectively start your earning journey, is step 3. You must go straight to your inbox and verify your email address. Why is this such a big deal? Because without that vital security check, you literally won't be able to unlock the platform's higher-paying features, and worse, you'll never be able to actually cash out your earnings. So, verify that email. Moving right along to section 2, completing your early tasks. All right, so you're verified and officially logged in. You're looking at the main dashboard. But hold your horses. You aren't quite ready to start playing games or binge-watching videos just yet. You need to head over to the Actions Required tab because, well, this is where your actual work begins. You've got to fill out your basic demographic information. And guys, this setup matters immensely. The app uses these basic profile questions to match you with the right surveys and tasks down the line. So getting this set up accurately is a completely critical early task. Oh, and this is also the spot where you can plug in a referral code if a friend gave you one, which links your accounts for some potential bonuses later on. Now for the fun stuff. Section 3, exploring the earning methods. Once your profile is locked and loaded, you're going to shift your focus to the Earn tab. This right here is the mechanical heart of the app. This is where they throw a bunch of different options at you to start generating those points. And honestly, the options are wildly diverse. We're talking playing mobile games to reach specific levels, filling out marketing surveys, watching quick 30 to 60-second video ads, completing microtasks like, say, following a random social media account, or even using the app to snag cashback when you shop online. You can even scan your physical grocery receipts. It's basically a gig economy buffet, letting you sample pretty much every microtask under the sun. Which brings us to section 4, the 1,000-point rule. Now, before you start frantically tapping away at those videos and games, you really need to understand the underlying economics of PaidWork. So the crucial point here is understanding exactly how your digital effort translates into cold, hard, real-world cash. And this right here is the golden rule of the app. 1,000 points equals exactly $1 US. You see, apps love to use point systems like this to kind of abstract the real-world value of your time. It makes earning micropennies feel like a much larger, more satisfying reward. It's absolutely crucial to keep this exact conversion rate in the back of your head as you browse through the tasks. That way, you aren't fooled by a seemingly massive point reward, and you can accurately judge if an activity is actually truly worth your time. Let's break down some specific expectations based on the actual data we have. Say you choose to watch a 60-second video. Well, you're looking at earning between 1 and 10 points for that minute. If you do the math on our 1,000-point rule, that means you might literally need to watch over 100 videos just to make a single dollar. Scanning receipts, that might yield anywhere from 10 cents to $1 daily. However, the surveys are really where the larger chunks of points live. For example, a single survey from a provider like BitLabs can offer up to 552 points, so a little over half $1, for about 20 minutes of your time.
And you are going to need to be actively hoarding these points because PaidWork enforces a minimum withdrawal threshold of $5. That means you can't just cash out the second you make your first dollar. No way. You've got a bit of a mountain to climb. You have to hit exactly 5,000 points before you can transfer a single cent of those funds to a payment method like PayPal. So it definitely requires a sustained commitment to finally hit that first payout.
Let's transition into Section 5, contrasting user experiences. Because the app offers so many different paths, and frankly, because demographic profiles vary so wildly from person to person, the actual user experience on PaidWork is incredibly divided. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole survey experience perfectly. On the left side here, one source highlights the really lucrative potential of surveys, happily pointing out that a single BitLab survey can efficiently drop 552 points right into your account in just 20 minutes. Sounds great, right? But on the right side, another source reports immense frustration. They describe that exact same survey provider as crappy because users are frequently screened out. That means you could be sitting there answering questions for several minutes only to get a message saying you don't qualify, and boom, you earn absolutely nothing for your time. We actually see a super similar contrast when it comes to their referral program. The platform advertises this fantastic-sounding bonus: get $10 for each person you refer. But, as always, there's a catch. The person you refer has to successfully earn and withdraw their first $10. One user looks at this and views it as a really great way to double your money. The other user? They view it as entirely useless and, quote, boring, pointing out the massive friction involved. I mean, think about it. You have to get a friend to endure that brutal 10,000-point grind just so you can finally get a bonus.
So, depending on who you asked, you end up with two wildly different final verdicts. Let's look at the optimistic take from our first source. They view PaidWork as a 100% authentic application and enthusiastically calculate that with consistent effort, specifically if you're targeting those surveys, you can reliably earn about $1 to $2 in an hour and 20 minutes. For them, it's a completely legitimate, steady trickle of secondary income, assuming you have the patience for it. Conversely, here is the much more skeptical take from our second source. After reviewing those exact same earning methods and looking at the sheer overwhelming volume of microtasks required just to hit that $5 withdrawal threshold, their conclusion is way more cautious. They really emphasize the low payout to time ratio here and simply urge you to, quote, do your own research to see if this grind is actually going to be worth the effort for you.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you have to ask yourself. We've shown you exactly how to set up your account, we've walked through those absolutely crucial early verification tasks, and we've laid bare the reality of the 1,000-point rule. You have all the data right in front of you. So when you look at the potential payouts versus the very real possibility of those frustrating survey screenouts, is trading hours of tasks for pennies really worth your free time? Well, that is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.